We're a couple of minutes ahead of time, but I think Neil is chomping at the bits to talk about his research. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Neil Chilton from Printed Electronics,
Thank you.
Ltd.
I just want to make sure you get to lunch on time because you know what the queues are like at 1 o'clock. So yeah, my name is Neil Chilton. I'm a technical director. I'm one of the founders of Printed Electronics Limited. I'm hoping today's presentation will be have less comedy value than yesterday. Yesterday's presentation I gave at the masterclass, the previous speaker took their mouse, linked their mouse via Bluetooth to the computer, and then walked away with it in their backpack afterwards. And so it was just random mouse movements through most of my presentation. So I'm going to hope that today's a little bit smoother than that one. And that's a good trick. If you don't like the following presenter, you should try that next time. So anyway, my name is Neil Chilton. We founded Printed Electronics in 2000. We started Printed Electronics as a company in 2006. Actually founded the company from within a printed circuit board manufacturing company in 2005. So we've been going now for nearly 20 years. And there are many people in the audience also who have been going for nearly 20 years. So we're getting pretty mature, right? So as an industry, we've made a lot of learnings, we've understood a lot of things. And as one of the early adopters in the field, each and every person who's been in the organisation for that 20 years is around 40,000 person hours. And many people will know this 10,000 hour rule. You know, if you do something for 10,000 hours, that essentially means you're supposed to be an expert in that field. Now, interestingly, that research came about from Gladwell's book in 2008, and it was based at the Music Academy in Berlin. But So what's really interesting, though, is that it studied people who are under 20 years old. So I think I'm a little bit past that age group where we can become experts in 10,000 hours. But I think what's really important here is that we deal with both the expertise that we've built up during this period in time and also start to train a younger generation so that we can keep some of that. So Printed Electronics Limited is a company based in the UK. We are a manufacturer, first and foremost, so that's most of our activity. We also do machine sales, and the machine sales that we do is based on the machines that we use, so we're experts in those machines. And then we also do process and product development on behalf of generally much larger customers than ourselves. We work in a number of areas of printing. Predominantly, the area that we work most heavily in, like everybody else in this area, is screen printing. So screen printing is the one that we use for most of our actual manufacturing. But we work in inkjet, piezo jet, superfine inkjet, aerosol jetting. So basically the reason we work in all these areas is so that we can cover this dimension range. Because we can go to very large scale with screen printing, and in fact we can go to very small dimension features with screen printing. But if we need to go to 1 micron features, then we need a process for that. Now, printed electronics or printable electronics of any form means that you are choosing to do this. You are choosing to print with a liquid, or manufacture rather with a liquid. In most of the sectors we don't do that. Most of the sectors we transmute solids. And so in the case of this example here, we're showing inkjet deposition from a head, all very beautiful. Inkjet drops falling onto a surface, and then the Marangoni effect, what happens when the ink dries on the surface. All of those things are critical to understand in any printed electronic application. Now, inkjet is the one that offers the most promise, I think, but is actually one of the most difficult processes to master because it uses a low viscosity fluid. So if you're working with fluids in printable electronics, you're likely to fall into one of these camps, either low viscosity fluids, aerosol jet with ultrasonics, inkjet, some of the high-speed offset methods like flexo and gravure, or, perhaps more easily, you operate in the higher viscosity range where you can use screen printing and some of the other methods. Some of the methods work in both areas of ink. Our focus tends to be, where we can, to work at the higher viscosity and work at the lower viscosity when we have to. Our commercial activities really focus on printing in fairly low volume applications, so we make from 1 part to maybe 5,000 parts, and that means that we don't do consumer. So most of our applications are in medical, security and sensing, and most of that is with screen printing. So what I'm trying to do in this presentation is to